Sonic 06. This game needs no introduction, but if you're the one person who does need it, I'll give you a couple of seconds of this video's time. Bad story, jank physics. Promise fulfilled. I grew up with this awful story and its jank physics, and so did many other children who grew up in the 2000s. There are a few of us who attempt to defend the game, and we tend to do that in many different ways. However, in the end, it all comes down to us acknowledging the game's flaws and us begging people to believe that this game had potential. In the end, the general consensus is that Sonic 06 is a bad game and always will be. But what if that's not how the story ended? Thanks to a project led by YouTuber ChaosX and his team of associates, the story might not be over just yet. Say hello to Project 06. A one-for-one recreation of Sonic 06, but to be honest, one-for-one recreation would not be accurate phrasing, because this game has fixed and improved literally everything. And thanks to the latest demo, we have all of Sonic's levels, excluding the boss fights, but who cares? If you can, you should be playing Project 06, and I'm going to explain why. Let's start off our journey in Wave Ocean. Wave Ocean is the perfect level to showcase just how amazing these graphical improvements are. You can see the water actually looks like water, not an opaque blue death plane. Sonic's shading no longer looks, I guess you could say, blotchy. Project 06 just has more color than the original. Trust me though, there are plenty more improvements. My favorite ones are by far related to the physics. For one thing, they let you use the Sonic Adventure 1 spin dash. Download this now. Sonic no longer controls like a twitchy mess. His movement has become much more fluent, and there is now the existence of momentum. That's right, momentum. It's not extremely obvious just running at normal speed, but now you can, for example, use a spin dash to increase your jump speed and height, you know, like a Sonic Adventure game. I personally have never enjoyed Sonic Adventure 2 a large amount, but I love the bounce move that it brought to the Sonic games. And with Sonic 06 being the poor performing mess that it is, I never really got a chance to extract full use of the bouncing mechanic in the original game until Project 06. Because in Project 06, it just feels so versatile and good to use. And while we're on the topic of enjoyable game mechanics, I want to talk about one of my favorite gameplay changes that they made, and that would have to do with Tails' gameplay. For one thing, they added an entire level for you to test him out in. Tails has gone from slow and aggravating to use to becoming one of the most versatile and rhythmic to play as. And honestly, it's rhythmic gameplay that makes Sonic gameplay just so fun. And now Tails has that attribute thanks to the return of the tail swipe. It works just like it did in Sonic Adventure 1, but now you can use it when attacking enemies from above, allowing you to fly up to an enemy and bounce on it. This addition is something that Tails' gameplay really needed. This change worked so well, I found myself wanting to play as Tails in all of Sonic's levels, or at least be able to switch to him Sonic Hero style. And I'm positive I'm not the only one. I just wanted to point out a little change that caught me off guard in Wave Ocean while we're still here. When you were skimming across the water in Wave Ocean, instead of it being automated like the original game, you have to steer into these air boosts or else you'll stop and die. Just a heads up. Now, we move on to White Acropolis and Crisis City, which are by far my two favorite levels. The snowboarding on both levels just feels so much better than the original. And one of the best features they added is the ability to push yourself, should you come to a stop. To put it simply, snowboarding has become a much more satisfying experience, and you can get going quite fast if you time your jumps correctly. Now, in Crisis City, as well as other levels, there are the infamous Mach Speed sections. To most people, these were considered a huge hassle, and with good reason. But now, you can actually turn mid-air. We have now peaked technologically. With this addition, along with the improved momentum physics, Lightspeed dashing can help you attain insane amounts of speed, even for a Sonic game. The boost formula now seems flawed and obsolete in comparison to this. If I wanted to run in a mostly straight 3D environment at extremely high speeds, I would much rather do it in a Mach speed section that rewards successfully avoiding obstacles to gain momentum and speed than just push a button to go full speed and become invincible. But hey, that's just me. At this point, you're probably wondering, okay, what about Shadow and Silver? Well, right now, Shadow doesn't have any levels of his own, which is understandable considering just how similar his gameplay is to Sonic's. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Chaos X plans on changing that very soon. Silver, on the other hand, while not having his own levels yet, is playable in the portion of Kingdom Valley, and boy has he improved. For one thing, his stun ability has taken the form of a projectile, which means you no longer have to get within inches of a robot to stun it and use psychokinesis. At the end of the day, what you're left with is an incredible fan project aimed at helping one of the weakest games of the franchise get back up on its feet and run with the best of them. The developer claimed that a 3.5 build may potentially be released at this year's upcoming Sage event, so if you could play the game and give the developers feedback through Chaos X's YouTube channel, I'm sure they would appreciate it. Thank you for stopping in and giving me some of your time. Stay safe. Goodbye.
That was incredible!